This is an old poem of mine. It is called Eliza and the Sea. Let me tell you a tale of the worlds. She sat upon the jagged rocks, the sea surging about her. They were her allies, her closest friends, her sources of strength and power. The spray, the mist, the foam, the bladder-wrack, the sunken submarines, and great triumphal arches of gored mountain sides. She sat upon the rocks, and surged along with the surge. Let me tell you a tale of the worlds. There is the overworld and the underworld, and within these two concentric circles all things overlap, interpenetrate, unite and fight, so that from the one comes two, and from the two comes many. She sat upon the rocks. The mist, the spray, all hers first, she sat upon the rocks. She knew she would have to go out to sea any day now. The gulls in all their sky-ambling circularity of prophecy, every strident laugh a signal of an unforgettable voyage, already forgotten, memorized by the sea until it swallows. "Embark, embark," the winds call and the anchors drop. "Embark, embark," cry the clouds. They are hungry with thunder. The sea populated with embryonic waves that paint the jagged curves of chaos's sweet surface. "I am Captain Eliza O'Malley," she said in consideration of herself. "I am the greatest stowaway of my age. I was forbidden entry into this world by the Lady of the Lake, but I am the Lady of the Sea. The shipwrecks are all a search for me, but they will never find me." So it is possible to be a feast for all things, to keep a foot in one world, a webbed toe in another. Christ will wash your foot in one world, Satan will manicure your toes with his tongue in another. Then they will trade places, for they are both the same. Eliza O'Malley was the captain of her ship. She would sleep all night in the beak of storms, in the gills of stentorian Leviathan, struggling to sleep in the deeps. She had killed all her family and left them behind her, but families are just ghosts out here, and everybody must kill a ghost before they go out to sea. Eliza sang her song. If those waves were ladders that snaked downwards instead of upwards, how fast would I have to be for them to appear statuesque and still? A typhoon is a portal, the swilling of seawater in Neptune's jaws before he turns off the faucet of time. I have read of the Eskimo, how their seafaring shamans would dive to the bottom of the ocean to brush the knots in Sedna's locks. But who will unleash the locks in my own hairs? Can't you see how every strand interlinks with a cloud, every cloud interlinks with a station, and every station interlinks with the world? These are all just different frequencies, my dear. They shift and they slide, and oil the tide of the swift swings in blackness beside. So world-strewn is my hair. But if braided, tressed, and spun out for miles, these hairs and fibrils would seem like nothing. They would raise my arms up to the sky would lower its arms to me, for every lass must marry the sky before she goes to sea. Eliza wrote this story by a lantern, a tender flame. We call it the sun in our universe, but it is but the reflection from the window of a moving train in hers. A black shadow with blue and crimson eyes climbed into the galley of her ship, where she kept her quarters. "What do you do, Eliza?" he asked her. "Is this your life, just to roam and be roamed?" "Isn't it everyone's?" Eliza shouted back defiantly, slamming down her gin. "How can you escape the wanderlust of ages, the nautical lust to want to be on the other side of the porthole? To lash yourself to the pounding heart of every tide, to set sail astride the stars and dip your feet into the udders of galaxies until you are completely stranded in the isometry of time's restless motions?" "But you are all alone," said the shadow softly. "Where are the people in your life? Where are your friends? Where are the smiling eyes that will nestle kindly upon the words you've written in these pages?" "I am the sea," spake Eliza, and she said it with such power no one would dare doubt her. "You maggoty false breed, you trifling piece of spume, you tornado squeezing out of the flatulent arse of time! How dare you drift into my quarters with your insinuating words and half-spun slogans and question my worth for the world? I am the Lady of the Sea, and you would all be nothing, nothing without me." The shadow smiled at his case and disappeared once again into the dark. Eliza shuddered at the shadow's words. She had flashbacks of late nights and drunken mornings, of climbing into bed with sweaty breasts, getting lost in the limbs of hairy men, the organic machinery of sex, the hidden ocean within, disembarking on crystal caverns of groans and moans echoing through coves, sea shanties of sex, the pounce of bed springs, reopening ancient treasure chests, sealed but never forgotten. She could remember all those things because the sea never forgets. It just goes on remembering and forgetting with the dementia and hypnesia of every uncertain wave. Sea log. Autumn, winter, January, September, 1972, 1665. The shadows did not come again today, but I can still feel his judgment. What am I doing so wrong? I have never experienced anything but affirmation before. I go out onto the decks, and I am applauded by every albatross. The clouds come to me in fetters to beg pardon for stealing my sunshine away. But I curse the sun. The sea is the sun's grave, and I will eat his light into my belly as sure as what's made beest unmade. But the judgment still hung heavy about her. So you want me to go back to land, do you? To seek out people? Well, I tell you, there be no people out there. All those landlubbers are ghosts. You can walk through all their cities and see nothing but ruins. But out here, everything is emergent. There are no ruins. The coral reefs are like ancient cathedrals robed in sand, rebuilt every day by the wave's secret motions. But then back to 1772. She ghostly addressing her pirate crew. I tell you, boys, there be barnacles upon my breast, as sure as there's cockles in me larder. Let the cannon smell out incipient destruction, and I'll tell you how I lay there. And she still lays there like that, fuss-wise, with the bladder-rack rising up around her, a constriction of seaweed charming her into paralysis every night, searing her body in visions so vivid they would frighten the giant squids of the deep. I tell you, I love the sea, she shrilled into her writing desk. But when I die, will the sea mourn me? Will it attend my funeral? Will it weep for me, or has the sea air been weeping? Is it for this that it beest so wet? I have never known a dry moment in my life. Oh, when you used to come towards me, Harry, and towel me down, how I used to scream! Don't divest me of the last vestiges of my partner. It was bad enough living in a house with you and not feeling the ground swell and rock beneath me except when we were in bed. Harry, my dear, I could really feel the curtains decked with spray then. Oh, to be alive and in your arms. And the arms of the sea. I could never tell you apart from the sea, my Harry. So when I was away sailing for months on end, for years, for centuries, it was as though I was sailing upon you, my Harry, my love. But you landlubbers are such ghosts. Such ghosts, such ghosts, such ghosts! And so sometimes we sail between two worlds, not knowing if we ever meet. Maybe just a sudden chill, a flash of colour, a trace of electric paint in the air. Those are the only signals we might have. No longer the lapping and laughing of gulls and sea. But we still love you, Eliza, and we will bury you with all your books and candles until God finally rebuilds the sea.